Twitch presents our next big thing. Something long promised, but never delivered. Getting paid for using Twitter. For how many long years have you toiled for free on this god-forsaken site? What a mess. What a shame. What could have been. But now Twitch is here to save the day yet again. You'll finally be getting paid for all your hard work.
We live.
Are we live? Really?
We live.
Really?
Really.
Welcome back to the Love and Crypto podcast. I'm your host, Wendy O. This is my co-host, Hotep Jesus. That Hotep Jesus dude. How are you doing today, Hotep?
That Hotep Jesus dude.
Life is good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just got done doing a quick workout, and now I'm here.
Miss Nita workout or a fake workout?
No, we got some exciting stuff happening. So
Okay.
I can't divulge too much information. I can tell you that we are going to be having some sort of opening party at the end of August. And she found a small spot.
Oh, okay.
And things are gonna get pushed into motion. We're gonna end up getting bigger spot. Things are gonna happen, and I'm excited. It's gonna be at the end of August, and I'll post more so that people can come because it's gonna be a big fun event.
Shout out to Miss Nita and the fam. So who'd you work out? You did a bootleg workout. You wasn't with Miss Nita. You ain't do a real workout. You did a bootleg.
I know, but you know what? That's the thing. The thing is, let me tell you
doing?
something.
What you working on?
So don't come for me, okay?
Here we go.
So I have a Jillian Michaels DVD from like 20 years ago, like a million years ago. Hold up. It's like a 20-minute workout video, okay? I got it from the thrift store. But listen, okay?
To the left. Hop 2 times.
No, please. I could dance. I don't need none of that dancing stuff. But let me tell you something. It actually, because it's only 20 minutes, so it helps me stay focused and get my stuff in. But let me tell you, after I had the baby, I lost 40 pounds doing it at home.
Wendy out here trading in like an 80s mom.
Let me tell you something. The 80s moms put it down, though. Did they not put it down?
They did.
Okay.
Everything that comes in the exercise world comes from the 80s.
They put it down. The women in the 80s, the moms in the 80s.
I think that style's gonna come back. Remember they had like the thong over the shorts?
Yeah.
That's gonna come back.
It's already, actually, it has came back, but except these women, they wear just the thong, no pants. And that's their business. I'm not coming for them. That's their business. But it's just, I can't do that in public. I can't, except if I'm at the beach, it's different. The California beaches are different.
They're doing weird stuff with the leggings now. They're like scrunched up in the butt now to make it look like your butt's bigger than what it is. They got shadows built into the bottom of the butt. I'm like, they're doing all types of stuff with these leggings.
So what it is, the reason why they're doing it is because everybody wants a big booty. Yeah. Because that's what's in style right now. And that's big bottoms are absolutely beautiful. But the thing is, I get it. It looks aesthetically pleasing, but my concern with it is like, what happens if you're wearing a faja or you're wearing like the fake butt thing, and then go home with a man, and he's like, oh, what happened to your butt?
It's called catfishing.
Well, this is the thing. I used to not wear a lot of makeup before I started doing all the YouTube stuff, except when I would go out at night. It was dark, and the reason why is like, what happens if I go home with a man and I take my makeup off and he's like, ugh. So I used to not be that person, but then I had to start wearing makeup because I do media and because men want to look at something that's aesthetically pleasing. So I got to work with what I got, which is not a whole lot. And so that's why I wear a lot of makeup now, but it is what it is.
Interesting. I'm not going to come for you. I'm going to let that one slide.
My hair is actually clean also.
You cleaned your hair today?
I cleaned it yesterday. So I did my because I do rosemary oil now and tea tree oil, and I put it all over the scalp. to get rid of like the dandruff and because they say rosemary oil is supposed to make your hair grow. So I put it in, leave it for 20 minutes, and then I wash it out, and then I'm good for a week.
Was it bugs in there?
No, but I have thick curly hair. My hair is not. Well, you saw my hair. It was actually wavy. I've done so many treatments to my hair.
How much of that is yours?
This is all my hair. This is all my hair.
All that's your hair?
There's
no clip-ins or nothing.
I don't do clip-ins. I had extensions one time when I was like in 8th grade.
Anybody ever tell you look like Cher?
I wish I looked like Cher. She is.
What about Alanis Morissette?
They tell me that too.
Well, I'm glad your hair's not dirty today.
I know it's important to have clean hygiene.
Unfortunately, there have been instances where Wendy O has decided to come with the dusty look. But today is not one of those days, and we're thankful. We stand a clean queen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Okay, so we got some interesting things to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we do.
So we have a topic that you wanted to talk about. We have a topic I wanted to talk about, and to keep it crypto-centric, we have to talk about Elon Musk selling 75%. Tesla selling 75% of their Bitcoin. So well, first off, how's your family doing? How's the baby doing?
Wait, what? He did what?
Tesla sold 75% of their Bitcoin.
When was this?
Today. It got announced today because they released the earnings report for Q2.
Oh, and that was in the earnings report?
Yeah, they sold it for cash. And Twitter is mad. They're mad right now. And it's so funny because they sold at the end of it's effing embarrassing is what it is. It is embarrassing because they already sold it. Tesla sold it already. They sold it at like 29,000 or 28,000 in that range. So they sold it already.
What did they buy it for?
I think 30 something.
So they took an L on it.
They took a loss, but again, tax right. It's all court. Like they wouldn't just sell it to sell it. There was a reason why. But there's so first off, because Elon Musk is a troll, and people are stupid. People are stupid because they read what people with money say. They idolize people with money. They think people with money are gods, and they're really not. The people that we should be worshiping, people that are doing stuff in the community, our parents, relatives, people that we have a personal connection with, that we resonate with, that have personally impacted our life. People that are down on all fours for people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Gates and all of these other people, they're sheep. If you're watching this, you're a sheep. Don't be that person. Okay, don't be that person. Think for yourself. You've got a mind. You've got a very powerful mind. Use it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say Elon's controlled opposition, but he's looking out for himself, and as he should. And Tesla is its own entity, and it's got to operate as it should. And I think idolatry is the problem. People found Elon Musk to be enigmatic. He has charmed the people, grown a huge following, almost cultish, and I think many people are upset because of that. They believe Elon. Elon was a Bitcoiner. Elon was a Bitcoiner. I know the maxis are losing it.
Well, good they can lose it, but it's ignorance. It's straight up ignorance, thinking that somebody else is going to take care of you. And they should take that same energy that they come for people like myself, for altcoiners and people that oppose the Bitcoin ethos that they've created for themselves, and understand this is a free market. This is capitalism. It's every man for themselves. You can still do things ethically, but he didn't do anything unethically. I mean, he did say that he wasn't going to sell it. They had diamond hands. But at the same time, why are you listening to somebody on the internet that you don't know, that you never met? Why would you trust somebody?
Elon looking out for Elon. And this is another Hotep's been told you moment. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. And when Elon was rising in the media and he turned on the show, I said to my audience, I said, look, don't get too happy about this Elon guy. He's not everything you're hoping him to be. This is no fault of Elon. Elon's doing what Elon's doing. But when you start making heroes out of mortals, you're going to have issues. And that's exactly what happened. You're going to be disappointed. And they were disappointed.
Well, that's the thing, though, is like so they did it legally. Of course,
Yeah.
on Twitter, he's going to say, I'm not going to sell. I'm not going to do. They didn't sell all their Bitcoin. They sold a part of it. But that's the whole point. Like, I trade Bitcoin so I can make more Bitcoin. I trade altcoins so I could get more Bitcoin,
Yeah.
or whatever it is. That is the purpose. And the Bitcoin maximalist narrative continues to change whenever they see fit. Like, we have people like Michael Saylor, who kind of said jokingly, mortgage your house, buy Bitcoin, sell everything, buy Bitcoin. And that's not really realistic for a middle-class family or lower middle-class family. So we have these people that are acting like they're gods and preaching all of this BS when it's actually very detrimental to somebody who might not understand the difference between, I don't know, it's just kind of detrimental. It's very unfortunate, personally. So they sold that, and I think they raked in approximately $968 million of cash to add to their balance sheet, which, at the end of the day, I do think Bitcoin will see about $10,000. I spoke with one of my good friends who's been a Bitcoin miner for a very, very long time, and he does mining consulting. And he said that he thinks that Bitcoin will probably drop down to about 12,500, anywhere between 14,000, 12,000, because of the way the mining economics works. Because a lot of people invest in Bitcoin and they don't take into account the mining economics, the cost of productivity, the hash rate, the cost of electricity, all of these different factors. Essentially, Bitcoin mining economics are very similar to looking at a balance sheet for a company or an earnings report, or researching fundamental analysis on a Bloomberg terminal for traditional financial assets. And we don't take that stuff into account. We should.
So what's his angle on that? What is he saying? Maybe because there's low profitability in the mining, that I guess the hash rate would drop, and maybe that would affect the coin. Is that what he's saying?
I can get him on to chat with you. He'd love that. He's a big talker, and he's really smart.
Bring him on next Wednesday.
I'll be gone next Wednesday, so the Wednesday
Where
after
you going?
that. To the family vacation in the Central Coast.
You just took a family vacation like 2 weeks ago.
No.
Every weekend you're on a family vacation.
No.
Yeah, I was just in the mountains 2 weeks ago.
No, that was I think that was the anniversary.
Yeah, I was on the Canalita Islands.
That was anniversary. That was the 10-year.
How long ago was that? 2 weeks ago, right? 3 weeks ago? A month ago?
It's like, that's a while. It doesn't matter. I don't even know.
And after that, you went to the mountains.
No.
Yeah, I had a cabin trip or something.
No, I think I was at a conference.
Oh, okay.
I'll get him on when I get back, and you could talk to him about it. But basically, it's a lot of different factors. He's going to explain it better than I am. So I'll get him on. Shout out to Seth Mind Your Biz. You're going to be coming on. You don't know yet, so I'm going to call you.
He's watching the show, I'm sure.
He probably is. No, I'm pretty sure. Can you tell me about you filming a movie? What the hell were you doing?
Oh yeah. I'm a movie star now.
Okay.
I'm acting now.
What tell us about this?
There is a series on YouTube. It's called The Adventures of Savaho. And and there's a guy whose name is Savo, and he actually saves hoes. So if there's a hoe in distress, then he will save her. He will rescue her life. Yeah.
I love that. It's so funny to me because it's really funny.
So what happens is, one of his colleagues who assists him in saving hoes runs into a little police matter, and he has to call his attorney. And I played the attorney.
Love it.
Yeah, something new. Try my put my feet in the waters and see how it feels. It was fun though. It was fun.
When can we watch it?
September.
Okay.
October. It's gonna be later this year.
I love that. That's so much fun.
Because it's gonna premiere in a movie theater, and then it'll go to the internet. It's big.
Wow.
This is a big time. Yeah, it's big shit.
Wow! Look at Hotep Jesus. Can I have your autograph?
No. Talk to Raider.
What do your kids say about it?
My son was there. He said he wanted a role. He said y'all got to write me a role. So I guess he gonna be in a movie too.
Wow, that's fun.
Yeah. I'd rather him be in the role. I get to sit back and chill.
You could be his manager. You get that 10%.
There you go. That's where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? Sit back in the green room, play chess on my phone while he go and do his thing. You know what I'm saying? Just gotta keep my eyes on them Hollywood motherfuckers.
Yes, it's very. You know what's kind of interesting to me? I feel like Hollywood is probably a little bit safer than certain classrooms.
In 2022, you might be right.
Because there's some, I keep seeing some crazy. I've seen some crazy stuff. I'm like, dude, how like? And we'll talk
between the shootings and the CRT and the goddamn bathrooms and the switch genders. Yeah, you might be right.
But I have a question because some people are saying that CRT is good.
Yeah, good for nothing.
Why is it bad?
First of all, it's a college course. It's a university course. It's not a course for children. This is a university course. It's a course that needs to study economics. It's a course where you're going to have to find out the gross national product and the gross domestic product of the Black community, which is very difficult to figure out. And then you're going to have to filter that based upon everybody who's eating off of that money generated in both the GNP and the GDP. It's a university course, and what they want to do is they want to take something that is quite complex, dumb it down, turn it into white versus black. Let's play division in the classroom and make Black people hate white people. And because Black people are acting are exuding animosity towards white folks, there's going to be some strife in the room, some tension in the room, and then white people fight back, and then we're back into, the whole race war thing again. It's a trick.
That makes sense. I can understand that.
And you have to reinforce in the lowest class that they are the lowest class. So they like to reinforce with Black people that you are low class, you are nothing, you've been treated like nothing, you will own nothing, and you will like it.
Isn't that counterproductive? Because don't you want to empower people, especially? And I'm not saying that this just goes with a specific group of people. I'm saying with all people. Wouldn't you want to empower that group, that specific group that grew up very poor or that experienced adversity as a child? Wouldn't you want to say, you know what, you matter, you're important, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're intelligent, and just give them positive affirmations, figure out what they're good at and build them up that way so that they can grow up to be good adults?
Sure. They'll do that. Absolutely. They'll support that along the way, as long as it falls in line with the liberal democratic narrative. Once you fall out of line with that, well, you better be good on your own.
So you're not allowed to think for yourself then?
Bingo.
I don't like that.
It sucks, doesn't it?
I don't like, because the thing is it also, I feel like in Los Angeles County, I feel like we get to experience that CRT, but in real life, because we're so diverse, like literally everybody's mixed here. Everybody's mixed, or everybody, like your neighbor, you're not going to live in an all white neighborhood or all Black neighborhood. Well, you will, but you're going to have outliers. But when we're talking about like maybe in the Midwest or different parts of the rest of the country, you will have all Black people in one area, all Latinos in one area, all white people in one area. But see, with the white people, they're not, like when people classify white people, they're not always just all white, because there's different types of whiteness. There's different cultures and subgroups and whatever.
You have your swarthy whites, your spicy whites, and your Norse whites.
See?
Yeah.
It's all different.
Yeah.
So it's very all, it's just all.
Oh, and I'm sorry, and your kosher whites. I'm sorry, your kosher whites.
Don't forget the kosher whites.
Don't forget the kosher whites.
Because the kosher whites.
They're extra special.
You want to know why? Because with the kosher whites, you know what they do? They tell us that they say, you're not white, but you're this. But then it's a mess. It's a mess.
It's a mess.
We would need lots of time to explain it. But talking about CRT, I think that we can go into our next topic, the topic that I sent you, because it kind of coincides with CRT.
What is this you?
I want you to play the video for the audience because I feel like you had to have seen it. It's
Minneapolis mother?
Yes. It's very upsetting and it was very tragic and heartbreaking.
Oh, I played this. Oh, this is what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw this earlier this week. Yeah. This is funny.
What do you mean it's funny?
Well, the people's response to it is funny.
But after, okay, I watched it and I was mad because
let me play it and
Please.
then we'll talk about it. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Wait, hold up. Wait, hold up. Did you start playing it?
Hold on.
Celebrating his life.
Okay, hold up. Let me go to the video. Okay, go ahead.
All right, go.
I'm sure it was a terrible.
Not okay.
You're alive. Shut up.
You guys need to just let it go. Grief in silence. This is not okay. This is not a George Floyd situation. George Floyd was unarmed. He was unarmed.
You're alive. Sorry.
This is not okay. My kids have to deal with this and probably have a mental illness now because they almost lost their life. There's bullet holes in my kitchen
How do you
because he
know?
sat in the fucking hallway watching my move. I wish it never happened either. I don't have a place to call home. I can't sleep that night.
She's obviously going through a moment.
This is not okay.
This is what they want to show on the TV. She's obviously going through a moment.
This is not okay. Just go home. Go home. Because none of you guys knocked on that man's door to check his health.
Shut up. He comes to my house. Shut up. You're
No, you guys did not come. He did not. You guys did not come and visit that man. This is not the time or the place. It wasn't. This is not your man. It's your ass. It's all man. Get away from me. Get away. No, because you think it's okay to get in my kid's in the car. My kid's in the car. My black kid is in the car.
Look at what you're
He
doing.
killed me. He tried to kill me in front of my kids. He tried to kill me in front of my kids. He tried to kill me in front.
If she'd have hit her chest one more goddamn time, she'd have caught asthma.
That's a frustrated parent.
Yeah, she looks very frustrated.
I mean, can you imagine your children getting put in a situation, you're home with them, God forbid, I'll talk about myself. Me as a parent, if I was put in a situation like that with my child, I lose my shit when somebody threatens my child on the internet, like some anonymous person does. Like I get mad. Like I'm ready. Like I'm ready to go. Like straight up ready to go. But the fact that this happened to her kids, and they're telling her, you have your life. You're alive.
Yeah, it's insensitive.
The fact that they're not understanding that her kids are going to be mentally damaged from this for the rest of their lives, that they have to deal with that.
Yeah, I felt like that was a type of situation that was easily controlled. I tell you about the time I had my Cuban videographer. He almost beat up the dude in the VIP lounge.
No, tell us.
Oh my God, we the VIP lounge chilling, and my videographer, he from Cuba, he a little crazy. So
the guy I met.
Yeah, yeah. So he ended up, I guess the guy bumped into him or something, but it seemed like an aggressive gesture.
Mm-hmm.
So my videographer was like, "Yo, you want to square up?" Because I think they were debating at the time, and he was like ready to square up. Make a long story short, I squashed it right quickly, and the other dude, he said to me, he's like, "Yo, you handled that really well." I said, "Thank you." I pride myself in being an expert in de-escalation.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like a situation that we saw that lady in was a layup as far as de-escalation is concerned. It was a layup. She obviously needs some money. She obviously needed some peace. She needed a hug. She needed somebody to listen to her. She didn't need people yelling back at her, "But it's not you though. You didn't get shot though." You don't need like that. is what you call escalation.
It's on site if someone told me that.
Oh Lord Jesus.
If somebody told me when it's about my kids, when they told me no, and they would argue with me, it is on site. Mm-mm.
So that's what you get. You would get something that exacerbates the situation, agitates the woman. It just doesn't bode well for peace relations at that moment. I don't understand why grown adults, and there's also the thing where people like Black Lives Matter showed up, and it's just like, no, that's not Black Lives Matter. That clearly sounds like people from the neighborhood. And I think that Black Lives Matter has, or at least the hoopla surrounding Black Lives Matter has trained people to respond to these situations like, oh, black man got shot, police, we got to go march. Let me pull my phone out. It seems like that's like the trained response, but that's not new though, because this is how we were operating in the civil rights era. People was going around marching and shit like that. Motherfuckers just like walking, I guess. Walking for clout.
Well, this is the thing. I feel like there's
the
a time.
Griff stroll.
There's a time.
The
in
Griff
the
stroll, Wendy O. This is the Griff stroll.
Those people are, I'm not going to talk about the civil rights movement because I wasn't alive during that time, so I can't talk about it. What I can talk about is this particular thing. I don't care what culture, I don't care what race, I don't care what that man was from. You come for children, you come for the babes. It is on site.
Well, what they saying is the dude had a mental illness.
I don't care. I don't care. I have mental illness too, but you don't see me messing with kids. I have mental illness too, but you don't see me messing with kids. I don't care. Our children matter. Our children matter, and we have done a disservice to them. And it's as a parent and as a normal functioning human being with mental illness, it is not okay. You come for the kids and that's it. Why can't we just say it? We protect kids at all costs. Why can't we do that? Why do we have to analyze certain situations? I don't care. It's come to a point where our kids have been harmed so much and they've been through so much in the last few years. Why can't we just say, you wrong a child, that's it. You don't get a second chance. Why?
You don't get a second chance. Keep going, dictator.
When it comes to the kids,
I love it.
When it comes to our babies, I don't care. My kids matter. My kid matters. Your kids matter. Anybody who's watching this, their kids matter. Why are we not protecting our children that are here? Why?
No second chances, huh?
Not with kids. When it comes to kids, no. That's something. No.
Chopping off hands and feet.
When it comes to our children.
Woo. She said, I got mental illness too. God damn it, Wendy.
You know what? This is the thing. People could come for me. They could try to debate me, but at the same time, I have had a really hard life, like a really, really hard life. And I have stories on stories on stories and stories. So anytime somebody's like, I can say, well, I've been through this, or I know somebody who's been through that. And I'm sorry, when it comes to our kids, like it used to be, we need to protect women and children. And now we don't even protect women anymore. Now we don't want to protect children. We need to change. Something has to give, and we need to protect our children.
Well, we don't know what a woman is anymore. So you can't protect something unless you're able to define what it is.
A woman has the gates of life. Okay? A woman has the gates of life.
No. It's not true.
I don't care.
That's not true. There are men with uteruses.
Then they are trans men, and that's okay. That's a business.
But that's not a woman. That's a trans man.
Then that is a subgroup
Men can have babies too.
That is a subgroup of
men can have babies too.
Of science. That's a subgroup of science.
Men can have babies too, so it's not just women.
Don't protect women, because you know what? throughout history, women have never been protected in most cultures. So you know what? Don't protect women. You don't want to protect women. You don't want to call me a woman. Don't call me a woman. But we are gonna protect the kids. We are gonna save the babies.
At least the babies will be safe.
At least protect the babies until what they're 8, and then you start telling them to That's where please. That's where we're at in a society. Let's you know what? Let's just disregard the women because they don't matter, and let's just protect the kids.
It's birthing,
to make everybody happy.
It's birthing people.
These titties don't sag just to sag, okay?
Lactating human beings. Person with boobs.
Well, some men do have boobies.
There you go.
They got bigger titties. I mean, and you're right. They could have de-escalated that, given her some money, helped her get whatever, put her in a house, started a GoFundMe. But you know what? At this point, the way it is, I will be a dictator when it comes to our children. It's on site, always and forever.
Shout out to Syscoin. They have their new platform, their new NFT platform, Luxy. If you guys are looking to introduce the world to one of your masterpieces of art, check out Luxy. Go sign up there and start NFTing.
Well, they're actually they're more affordable than Ethereum NFTs, so that's a positive.
See, there you go.
Because
to mint one of them fucking on Ethereum can cost you like a mortgage.
Well, they've actually it depends how clogged up the network is. So the network should be getting fixed soon, but it's like there's a lot of projects that I think are going to be able to directly compete with Ethereum, like Syscoin. So.
I know Ethereum, you needed a few $100 just to move an NFT.
You do, yes.
Yeah. So
100%.
Cheaper alternatives are better.
I agree, and they're more eco-friendly as well because you want to know something funny. The new legislation they want to put through, they have to talk because it's going to go from the SEC to the CFTC supposedly that they want to put through. Mm-hmm. They want to have the Agricultural Commission approve the laws for crypto regulation. Yes.
The farming people?
They want the Agricultural Commission to be involved in the decision because of the commodities in agriculture or agricultural commodities.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, did you hear about the same-sex marriage?
Can you please educate me on this?
Let's take a look at this.
I need to know.
Let's take a look at this. This is on CNN. What does it say? Senators expect GOP support to grow for same-sex marriage bill in bid to overcome filibuster. Republican and Democratic senators said Wednesday they expect the bill to codify same-sex marriage to eventually win the 60 votes needed to break a filibuster. A sign of growing public acceptance and a sea of change over an issue that once badly divided the two parties. While most GOP senators are likely to vote against the bill, lawmakers in both parties believe there will be at least 10 Republicans who would join all 50 Democrats and advance the bill to a final up or down vote. So buoyed by 47 Republicans who voted for similar legislation that passed the House Tuesday, senators expected a similar show of bipartisan support when the measure hits the Senate floor. So basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to create a bill that is going to guarantee human beings the ability to wed if they are the same sex.
I thought that was already legal, though.
Yeah. What is it? Loving versus Virginia or something like that?
Yeah, I thought it was already legal. So why is this even? Why are they even bringing it up?
No, it's not Loving versus Virginia. It's something. No, that's not it. It's I forget what it is. Loving versus Virginia is interracial marriage. Chat, what What's the case law for same-sex marriage? Who in the chat knows?
I'll Google it.
Um, um,
It's Ogerfell versus Hodges 20 from 2015.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I think that's it.
It's a landmark civil rights case in which the Supreme Court of the United States rules that the fundamental right to marry is guaranteed to same-sex couples by both the Due Process Clause and the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment.
Wait, say the last part again.
The United States court ruled that the fundamental right to marry is guaranteed to same-sex couples by both the Due Process Clause and the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment.
Whoa.
You want me to send it to you?
No. I'm just looking up something here.
Also, too, if you're in India, you're not allowed to get married if it's same-sex.
Which figures...
Oh, they are permissible. Never mind.
Oh, I see what they're saying here. Okay, I see what they're saying. All right. So, I'm just having a hard time trying to wrap my mind around why, in fact, Congress felt as though they needed to codify this. Yeah. Thanks, Rita. Yeah, she pulled it up. Why do they want to codify this? This doesn't seem right. It just goes against. So, for example, right? You follow me right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If they codify this, it's going to give I guess the federal government. Well, if they codify this, basically what they're going to say is, because you always got to go to the extreme, right? Whenever you give the federal government authority over a matter, they have 100% autonomy. So if they want you to marry a trans goat, you're going to be marrying a trans goat. Look at Wendy's face.
Leave the animals and babies alone, man. Come on. Just leave.
That's if they can tell you who you can marry, they are going to be able to tell you who you can't marry. Watch, one day they're gonna come around and say you're not allowed to marry that person. That person hasn't been vaxxed.
Well,
that person has too many guns. That person hasn't taken a CRT course. You can't get married. This is where we're going. This is what codifying things into bills means. It means we have the authority to manage you people. We are your handlers. You are our cattle, and we're going to codify this bill that says, look, in writing, you motherfuckers don't know how to act, so we're going to make you act for us. However, there's another take I have here.
Mm-hmm.
This is an absolute waste of taxpayers' money.
Of course it is.
Absolute waste of taxpayers' money. Motherfuckers can't get gas in their car, and we worrying about hookah rinky dink. This is terrible.
Let me just say, if people want to get married, and if they want to get married, why the government doesn't need to be, and just as long as it's consensual between two adults, 18 and up, who cares?
Any states actually have it illegal?
I don't think so. I think it's legal. I'm pretty sure that it's legal.
So they're just doing shit for no reason.
Yeah, that's why I was so confused when you're like, let's talk. Well, that's why when you're like, let's talk about same-sex marriage. I was like, why? I was like, did something happen? Like, why are we talking about it? It's legal. Like in some places, obviously it might not be culturally accepted, or it might not be, you know, in like very religious small counties, maybe like, no, we don't want this. And that's up to the church. So you just move out and you go to a different church, or you find somebody who's willing to marry you. But I just don't understand why it's even a topic now, because like why they're even talking about and wasting taxpayer dollars, because you're allowed to get married. It's not like, you know, it's not, you know.
Wait. I see an article here. It says the 13 states that still ban same-sex marriage. Now, however, this is February 13, 2015, so I don't know how up to date this is. It says Arkansas, Georgia, Louisiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Missouri, Mississippi, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Texas, Ohio, and Tennessee. Now, I can tell you right now, Georgia has to be across off this list, because that's just not going.
Texas too.
Right.
I feel like they passed that thing in 2015 and it went away, and you can get married now, but I still think churches are allowed to refuse you, which it is a church. A church should not have that. You should not force them to go against their religious beliefs. And that's okay. You just get married in a different church. And honestly, if somebody didn't want to marry me anyways, why the hell would I want to get married with that? Like, why would I want them to officiate my wedding?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
And this CNN article is misleading as well. Right. Like
yeah.
The headline says 13 states that still ban same-sex marriage. And then it goes on to tell you that the state's constitutional ban on gay marriage passed in 2004 was struck down twice last year. So technically, no. This is once by a state court judge, and again, U.S. District Court judge. Local officials issued some 400 marriage licenses following the state court decision, but the same Supreme Court blocked the issuance of more licenses pending its review of the case. A decision could come soon. It says right here, Georgia is just one of 3 states with no legislative action or pending legal decision whatsoever on same-sex marriage. However, there are lawsuits pending to overturn the state's 2004 ban. So I guess people are still getting married, but there's bans on the books. I don't know.
I just think it's a stupid thing to even argue over, because realistically, let's face it, people have been humping the same sex since the beginning of time. We've seen that in old school civilizations. I want to say the Romans, the Greeks, and probably all over the place. Everybody's humping everybody. So why, like, who cares? I just don't understand why it's even something that we need to discuss anymore. Just as long as people are 18 plus, it's consensual. Who cares?
It looks like everybody's sort of updated in 2013. I see all these states have been updated. Montana has not had an update yet. Yeah, Arizona doesn't have a date. California doesn't have a date. Florida, Kansas, Kentucky, Minnesota, Mississippi, Montana, North Carolina, North Dakota, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, and Wyoming still have nothing on their books for same-sex marriage.
California, you could totally, it's same-sex marriage is very accepted here.
Yeah, there's just nothing on the books yet.
I think it's stupid. I think it's a waste of time. I don't care if somebody is I don't care about same-sex marriages. That is the literal least of, I think, our concerns in the United States of America. If people want to get married, it's actually better that they have same-sex marriage. You want to know why?
Why?
Because you have one person taking care of the other person, and it's less money the government needs to shell out.
Cha-ching.
Less money. So who cares? If they want to, whatever they want to do in the bedroom, that's fine. Their business. It's literally like, it's a non-issue. Like, who at this point, like, who cares? Like,
so, to answer your question, like, why the hell that brought up? Well, that's what senators were doing. That was the big story coming out of Congress this afternoon. A filibuster on gay rights to get same-sex marriage passed.
I thought it was legal. One of the things I actually found, I was doing some research on the new abortion ruling, and I was listening, I forget who it is I was listening to, but they were saying that because if you are pregnant in one state that doesn't allow you to get an abortion, and you do travel to another state to get the service done, and we're not here to sit and judge whether who's wrong, who's right, whatever the situation is, because there's different things that occur. But basically what happens is if they find out that you're pregnant and if you find out you're pregnant in a state that abortion is legal, and you go to another state to get services done, you can actually get in trouble by not disclosing that you're pregnant when you cross state borders or something like that. And that aspect is very problematic. And the reason, because when you go back to your home state, you can get in trouble for getting technically an illegal abortion, which is kind of weird. And again, this is not just for, and when we're talking about abortion, it's not just, it's just not people who went out and slept around and, had need to get an abortion. This is for ectopic pregnancy. These are for medically necessary abortions too. So it's encompassing everything, absolutely everything. It's not just one or the other. They put it all into one basket, which I think is wrong, because there's a lot of complications with pregnancy. And let's be honest, giving birth was the leading cause of death in women up until like 50, 60 years ago. So there's some things about women's health that we don't talk about enough as a society. But anyways, but they were saying that that's just but the whole reason why that they're giving it back to the states to pick and choose whether they want to allow it or not, is so that they can have more control over people, so that they have to disclose different things. And if they don't disclose different things, they could get in trouble, or it's going to coincide with their social score, because people are saying that they want to start doing what they're doing in China in the United States.
Yeah. Cristobal Colon in his travels to the Caribbean was talking about the natives, and he said that the women used to go into the ocean and give birth to the babies, and they said they were given painless births. I believe they were using a combination not only of the seawater, but also some sort of narcotic, a certain leaf you chew on and it relaxes you, pain relief. All these things come from plants. But anyway, yeah, just a little bit of side info there.
Well, yeah, because women used to give birth standing up or squatting because of gravity, and it would help the childbirth be easier. But the reason why women started laying down giving birth is because one of the dirty ass English kings that was all smelly with all the abscesses, the absolute fat, disgusting pig. Well, it was more aesthetically pleasing for him to see his whores lay down and give birth.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
It's gross. Those some of those European people are cochino, man. They're nasty.
Cochino, man.
They are. It's gross. Like a lot of no.
Todd, my ex, said you already have a social score. It's called FICO. Yeah, big facts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they're going to do with the digital dollar. So I'm over it. I want to be taken out of this timeline and go back to the 90s where everything was fun again. Even though it was a terrible time in my life, it's probably better than this.
You could pop in your exercise DVD.
Didn't have. I was too
20
poor
minutes slim.
I was too poor. It's so funny. I used to do this ab workout. I'm gonna find that DVD and post it. But it was a 7-minute ab workout, and the guys were like, it was just so nerdy, but it works. The stuff works. It does, and that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, one day people are gonna realize with exercise, almost everything works.
It does. You just have to find what works for your body type.
Tell the people where to follow you.
Huh?
Tell the people where to follow you.
Oh, you can follow me at Crypto Wendy O, and you can follow Hotep Jesus at Hotep Jesus. And we're gonna go for tonight because I thought you were gonna be more mad about my video than I was, and you were, and I'm disappointed.
I covered this the other day. I covered the video the other day. It was so I was prepared. I was ready for it. But you have a right to be upset. I think that was very rude how those people acted. That was very rude and insensitive. And I'm just like, wow, I'm surprised people let that guy get away with saying that. I'd be like, yo, bro, you bugging. Like, you truly bugging. You can't say
because they hate women. That's why.
That's a wild thing to say to a woman.
And her kids were mixed too. They're half white, half black, or whatever she is. I think she's Latina. She looked Latina, but they're mixed. They're black kids.
Yeah, whatever they is. I just thought that was really out of bounds for him to say to a woman. I was just like, damn, like, bro, she almost died, and that's what you got to say.
Anyways, you can find me at cryptowendyo.com. You can find Hotep Jesus at hotepjesus.com. We're going to leave and we will be back. The next time you guys see us, we're going to have my good friend Seth come on. I'm going to tell him he has to do it. Come on. I'll reach out to him after the show. But anyways, I will see you on the 3rd.
I'll see you then. Oh,
All
yeah.
right. Bye.